Today we're going to talk about the little room, specifically what is in it and why we chose these specific things. In the front of your screen, you can see that there is a bright red ball with spikes on it. What that is it is essentially a bright colored object which decreases the difficulty of your visual system to engage with a brightly colored object. When kiddos have emerging vision skills, you want it to be brightly colored, so yellows, reds, and the tactileness of the little spikes is going to give the kiddo a different textured input than a smooth ball would be. You can also see that the net is yellow, which is another bright color. It's also texturized versus having like a smooth bag with the ball in it. The net allows the spikes to come through, but it also gives a different texture to that experience when the child is trying to locate the ball. Again, you can see that is attached to the ceiling, and so the child could kind of bring the ball closer to their body and then let it go, and it's going to have a little bit of a recoil there. You can also see the blue balls in the back. Those are attached to a spring, so the child can pull on those balls, hit them, bat them, and they're going to make noise. They're also a metallic blue color, so it's also visually engaging. When you see this water bottle, the water bottle itself is smooth, and the little strings that are attached to it are kind of a plastic knobby material, and so those knobby materials going to have a different texturized feeling or textured input for the child versus the smoothness of the water bottle. It's also on a brightly colored red yarn, and so there is going to be a little bit of give when the child kind of pulls on the water bottle because the yarn isn't super sturdy. It's got a little bit of a give to it. The dried pasta in the water bottle is going to make noise, so the child can bat the water bottle. The child could shake the water bottle. All those will produce noise in the water bottle from kind of that shaking of the pasta. This next picture, you're going to see the metallic beads. Beads are really great because they're easy for kiddos to hold onto, to grasp. They're also smooth and sometimes can be kind of bumpy depending on the beads that you have. I also super love what looks like a dartboard from like the dollar store because it's so brightly colored. And what's great about having different colors and different objects hanging on the different sides of the board is that a child can work on rotating their head and neck if they struggle to have neck stability or head control. Then if they're engaging in different areas of the little room, it means that they're engaging their eyeball muscles, their head and neck muscles, and then also their upper extremity muscles in order to try to kind of feel that knobby texture of the board. And you can kind of see too that it's hanging from brightly colored links. This little room is a DIY version, and so it is made out of PVC pipes and little Velcro strips as well as pegboards. And then here you can kind of see where things are attached via a link at the top so that they don't slip through the hole, or a large knot that is attached in multiple places. Again, if we look at it from this direction, you can see that there is a metal cap and metal discs, and so hitting those against each other is going to make more of a ringing noise. There is purple and gold beads, which are really metallic. You can see the blue balls and bells in the back, and there's also some more silver bells kind of hanging on the left side of the kiddo, our right side right now looking at this picture. And again, you don't want to place anything on top of the plexiglass because it is just secured with zip ties or Velcro. Don't want to damage that, and you want to make sure it's a nice and flat surface at all times. Again, here is that brightly colored, knobby, almost like dartboard from the dollar store. Like some kind of keys a little bit down at the bottom. They're attached via springs, so you can kind of pull on them and they recoil. And this actually is really an interesting find. It's a hair curler, but it has kind of a different scratchier texture, and so that texture really can give kiddos more information about their environment, see if that is a tactile sensation they like or perhaps don't like. Now we're going to talk a little bit about how to place a child into a little room. Specifically, you want to lower the little room on top of the child. This version has a removable plexiglass top. The version that you were just shown, the top is secure. The biggest part you want to realize is that kiddos with visual impairments need anywhere from 30 seconds to 60 seconds, sometimes even a little bit longer, in order to process what's going on. And so you want to lower the little room on top of the child really slowly so that they have enough time to process, they don't get scared, and they're able to kind of understand what motion is happening. You also, especially if you're working with a kiddo with visual impairments, want to tell them in advance what you're doing. Okay, now we're going to lower the little room on top of you so that you can explore all the fun toys. Here are the dimensions of the little room, just different options. If you want to have the child lying on their back, you're typically going to go for a lower one, anywhere from 1 feet high to 2 feet wide. You're going to have, if a kiddo is sitting up, you're going to want to make sure it's at least 2 feet tall. The biggest thing is that the plexiglass top should never exceed 2 feet by 2 feet, just because you want to make sure that it is safe for the kiddo, because these things are supported over their body, and so you don't want those toys to weigh too much. Here are some tips for hanging and kind of using tubing in order to secure the springs underneath toys so that kiddos' little fingers don't get caught. I will again link all of this down below so that you can have more information on it if you would like to. It also gives videos and things like that.